What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brew master in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with a couple of brews. I had lined up a few different options, and I've decided to go for the Selesnya one because it's definitely the one that I feel I'm being a little bit more creative with. So we've also got the Path version 2. I did forget to append a couple of games with this deck at the end of the last deck video that I put out. So I apologize for that, and I will remember to do so at the end of today's video. So added bonus feature, if you can stick around to that, I will be showing you a version of the Path that I think deserves at least a couple of games in the limelight before it goes to the bin. But the real focus of tonight's video is this brew over here. Just a +1/+1 counters Selesnya build that is focused around this sweet new card. So this is kind of going to be the theme over the next couple of days. While we wait for Alchemy, I'm going to be doing these sweet builds that are probably not that strong if you had to play it unranked, because of the way standard is right now. But that are definite archetypes that Wizards made as part of the set, and that it's just a pity that it doesn't get to see much play outside of, let's say, maybe draft environment, where it's less reliable and less consistent. So now we can make a constructed deck around these things and just have some fun with it in the unranked queue. So without further ado, let's jump into the brew. We're running one copy of Guiding Voice, which gives us access to a lesson board alongside our Sparring regimen, which I'll get to in a moment, putting a +1/+1 counter on a target creature and learning. Then we've got a full playset of the Luminarch Escort, which is our first way of giving our important creatures indestructibility. You can sacrifice it at instant speed, and target creature you control that has a +1/+1 counter on it gains lifelink, very important, and indestructible until end of turn. Really good. Then we've got 3 copies of Snakeskin Veil, which is just so good right now in the format. Like, so good. I think it's essential. I wish I could have 4 of, but I just was trying to trim corners and find ways to fit in everything that I wanted to fit in. So you'll see there's a couple of one-offs that we might end up trimming by the end of this video, so that we can go to 4 ofs of all the real important core cards of the deck. But let's see how it performs the way it is set up right now, because there's plenty of ways of, it's either full-on protection or pseudo-protection. So we've got indestructibility via the Luminarch Escort, we've got hexproof via the Snakeskin Veil, also putting a counter on it, which is relevant in the deck. And then we've got Swarm Shambler, which means if they do target the thing, we can also get extra value from the little insect token that Swarm Shambler poops out, as well as it having +1/+1 counters itself, which is relevant in the deck, and we can grow it by pumping a colorless mana into it at the end step. I love those times when you trick the opponent. They attack with let's say they have a 2/2 and yours is a 2/2 as well, and they're thinking, okay, he's just going to trade, and then you declare blockers first, then pump it up with your one last little mana that you have available. It becomes a 3/3, and the opponent creatures die. I love that little bit of play, and it happens more often than you'd think, because this card isn't that played. There was a time in mono green during standard 2022 when this was like the one drop of choice, because it kind of worked pretty well with the Ranger class. I'm kind of using it for that exact same reason. As you can see, we do have 3 copies of Ranger class in the deck. Next up, we've got 3 copies of Luminarch Aspirant, because it's the best white 2-drop in the format, and because it puts counters on things, which is important. As you have seen so far, a theme is developing. It's like a counter heavy with a slight life gain theme. And for that reason, we've also got Sanctify as our way of removing opponents' artifacts and enchantments. Just a one-of. Again, I wish I could sneak in 2, but I just don't know what else to trim. But we do have other ways of getting rid of enchantments and artifacts in the form of Borrowed Time. Then we've got 3 copies of Valorous Stance, which is super nice, because it's the creatures that are the most annoying and really, really important that you need to get rid of in this format have toughness 4 or greater. And so it's going to be a great removal spell. But you don't have to also run Fateful Absence, which, you know, takes up another, let's say, 3 or 4 slots in your deck. And isn't a great removal spell either, of course, because it gives the opponent a clue token. This is super flexible. It can be a removal spell. It can give a creature indestructibility. And that's why I love it so much. So I have 3 copies of Valorous Stance, absolute must-have. Then we've gone down to 3 Luminarch Aspirants and 3 Swarm Shamblers, where it used to be 4 and 4. Because I did want to keep the creature count in 19-19. I like this split in a Selesnya deck, counters deck. It's usually a problem to find enough creatures because all of the +1/+1 counter stuff tends to be like instants and sorceries and enchantments and stuff. So to find like good creatures that fits the deck and have a good balance, so you're actually drawing enough threats, is important. So I wanted to keep it at 19. But I did want to sneak in a couple of copies of Voice of the Blessed, so I went down to 3 Luminarch Aspirant and 3 Swarm Shamblers to fit in 2 Voice of the Blessed, to add a little bit of extra credibility to my statement earlier when I said that there's a slight life gain theme in the deck, because we can gain life via the Inscription of Abundance, via the Arlenbach Escort, when it's sacrificed to some, you know, the thing that it gives indestructibility to also gains lifelink. We have the Sanctify, which gains us 3 life, and we have the Sigardian Paladin, which I'll get to in a second. So 2 copies of Voice of the Blessed. You don't always get it, and it's not like the main win con, but when you do, it can be really, really good, and of course has built-in indestructibility when it gets really, really big. And it can get there really quickly, because of course pretty much everything here puts counters on things, so we can not just put counters on it when we're gaining life, but also just by putting counters on it, which is great. Then we've got 2 copies of Inscription of Abundance, which doubles as a little bit of removal, kind of mono-green deck style, but also gains us life and also puts +1/+1 counters on it. So it's kind of like everything that the deck needs in a card. So obvious inclusion. Then 3 copies of Ranger Class, makes a wolf token, puts counters on things, and gives us, you know, pseudo card draw, card advantage at level 3, which is great. And I would prefer to run 4, but I snuck in a single copy of Sigarda Summons. This might be the card that we end up trimming to play the full 4 Ranger Class, because this is a great finisher, obviously, in this deck, but it, you know, when you just have 1 of and it costs 6 mana, it's rare that it's going to happen. But I did want to give it a try and hope that we hit it in tonight's games, because this is going to be really, really sweet. Once we've put counters on all of our stuff and you drop a Sigarda Summons, all of these things have now base power and toughness 4/4 and have flying and are angels, and we're just swinging for the kill. I'm really hoping to get that off at least once tonight. Then I did touch upon Borrowed Time briefly earlier, but it's just a great little bit of removal. I prefer it to Skyclave Apparition because it's harder to remove, and it deals with everything, not just things that are mana value 4 or less. So I prefer Borrowed Time to Skyclave Apparition. I've said that, and I will keep saying that. So 2 of, then 3 copies of Sparring Regiment. So alongside Ranger Class, when you have these 2 both on the board, every time you're attacking with something, you're giving that thing pseudo vigilance with the Sparring Regiment, as well as potentially 2 +1/+1 counters. It gets pretty cool. And because there's this little bit of a training theme as well snuck in with Torens, as long as there's 1 creature that's always kept a bit bigger by Sparring Regimen and, you know, the all Luminarch Aspirant, your Guiding Voice, all of the ways that we have of putting +1/+1 counters on things, then the training will continue to happen, both on Torrens and all the little human soldiers that he poops out whenever you cast a spell. And that's going to mean that eventually, if we do get a Sigarda Summons, all those little tiny humans will also have flying. It's going to get good. But we've finally come to the main card of the deck, Sigardian Paladin, one that I haven't seen anybody playing, I guess because Selesnya counters is usually just a little bit weak, but I have a feeling that with the new sweeper, there's like a 4-mana Wrath in Alchemy that looks pretty sweet in this deck, in my opinion. But as long as you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on a creature, any creature, this turn, Sigardian Paladin has trample and lifelink, so it can just get that most turns for free. Even if you just attack with it by itself and you have Sparring Regiment on the board, it gets a +1/+1 counter. It'll suddenly gain lifelink, and trample. Lifelink really important because of our Voice of the Blessed, and also just to gain some life. But the trample is also really good because we can start to put that on multiple things, and that really ends games in a deck like this where we don't have any flyers except for potentially a leveled up Voice of the Blessed, and only if we drop our Sigardian summons. So if the opponent's got a lot of blockers, having some trample is great. And the cool thing is you don't have to spend your mana and dump it into Sigardian Paladin's ability, which says target creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it gains trample and lifelink until the end of turn. You can do it on itself, because most turns it's going to be getting a +1/+1 counter from something else, so it already has trample and lifelink. So then you can use your leftover mana on one of your other creatures that has got a +1/+1 counter on it, and it will gain trample and lifelink until the end of turn as well. And then that's just game ending. If you've got like maybe 6 mana open and you just put lifelink and trample on your biggest 2 creatures and swing in for the kill, it's pretty game ending stuff, and I love it when it pops off. And then I've touched upon Sigardian summons already. If we get it in the late game, it'll be amazing. If I start it with an opening hand with it, I might just mulligan and put it, if I need to mulligan and this is in my hand, it'll be the first thing that I put to the bottom of the library. Just now in talking, I've noticed a thing that I've missed. Horse. Can't have a deck without at least a couple of copies of Field of Ruin. And that's the deck. Pretty sweet. I like it. Let's see how it performs. We might even take it for a quick spin on the rank ladder. But yeah, lots of ways of protecting our creatures, lots of ways of gaining life, and yeah, some kind of semi-decent removal, and a little bit of sneaky card advantage. I didn't look at the lesson board yet, so sorry about that. Just quickly jump into that again. We've got 1 Academic Preparation, 1 Environmental Sciences, 1 Basic Conjuration, which I like. Life Gain and Find a Creature in 1 card. Perfect in this deck. Containment Breach, essential. Get rid of opponents' classes. Expanded Anatomy, which I almost never get to play with. Now we're playing +1/+1 counter theme, so definitely an inclusion. 1 Introduction to Annihilation, and as I always say, what lesson board is complete without at least 1 copy of Mascot Exhibition? All right, let's jump into the games. I've done enough blabbing. Now at this point in my videos, as usual, is when I like to do a tiny bit of self-promotion. So if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, kindly consider doing so. I'm well on my way to 500 subs, almost halfway there. And a giveaway is going to be triggered when we hit 500 subs. So if you want to take part, you need to be a subscriber. I'm going to be giving away a lot of cosmetics and in-game items. So if you want to take part, subscribe. Also, don't forget to do all that other good YouTube stuff. You could be so kind. Leave a comment, hit the like button, and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of future daily uploads. All right. Playing against a Callisto. I have a Luminarch Aspirant and a Torens and a Sigardian Summons in my opening hand. I think I'm going to just give it a keep. It's the beauty of unranked. You can just sort of play test. I've seen a couple of cool new cards that could. There's our 3rd land, perfect. Raptor. Okay. Another Raptor. That's could get problematic quite quickly, I'm afraid. But if he grows them a lot, and if that's the plan, looks like that's the plan, then I will just eventually be able to kill them with Valorous Stance. But it's kind of a long way away. We're going to be taking a lot of damage. Plays a land. Attacks. Okay. Birdies. Torens. Okay, so some dungeon stuff going on here. Okay, Orator. Yeah, I always ran Battlefield Raptors in my Orator deck. Because it's like 2 keyword abilities on one drop. Man, we are taking a lot of damage next turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. This game is GG. Yeah, I'll still get the training. 2 4/4s coming through. We'll be down to 4 next turn. It'd be nice to get one of our many life gain cards. There's a new card in Alchemy, the one that like restocks your hand with little 1/1 flyers. That could be pretty sweet in this deck. On to 4. So 5. Wow, crazy little brew. Just like a bunch of little 1-drop flyers. I wonder what the plan was here. Oh, that won't do it. We are screwed. We're dead anyway, right? So, I mean, he might just like... Woo! Oh well, it was close. Good game, opponent. Little weird unranked cube 1/1 birds deck. I like it. That's what it's all about. That could definitely benefit from that card we looked at yesterday. It just conjures sun-tailed hawks into your hand from nowhere. Man, we're like 2 days away from Alchemy. I'm like, the more of these cards that are spoiled, the crazier it looks. It's gonna be mental. I think the meta is gonna diverge drastically from current standard. The more I look at it, the more I think about it. I think it'll be a little less dramatic in future rebalances slash, you know, Alchemy set drops. Because of this time they're gonna be releasing a lot more. There's 63 or something. Next time around it'll be, I believe. Ooh. Ooh. Nice. I believe they said that next time it'll be like around 30. Okay, doesn't flip it. When it becomes target of spell, you draw a card. Okay. Maybe with Orvar. Come on, dude. Don't be such a little wussy. That's the problem with playing this in unranked though. I might just have to take it for a spin on the rank ladder and just, if we run up against mono white, I think it's okay. Run up against is it? Let's see what happens. Who cares? Who cares? Alchemy's coming. I just don't want to hurt my rank too much, so let's see how we go. I'll take it for a quick spin on the rank queue. We've saved up decent amount of golden gems for alchemy boosters. Don't forget to tune in for that on Thursday. I'm gonna be cracking packs and playing alchemy all day. Bean Lannister. Okay. Probably lead with this with the stronghold so that we can play out something on turn 2. Yeah. I was waiting to see if that was a land, but no such luck. I think I'm gonna go with a ranger class. Nice. Oof. Ow. That's a problem. This troll is... But they've printed something really good in red that'll deal with it. It's like a 3 mana instant speed, deal 5 damage, and then if a creature is dealt damage this turn, it'll be exiled. So it's like a new 3 mana solution to the old growth troll problem. This Blizzard Brawl is also so good. At least I can attack next turn, because he's attacked with Brawl. Okay, it's not bad. We can block the old growth troll with Ollenbach Escort and the little wolfy boy. Of course, of course. Always got that Blizzard Brawl, man. This time we got some full... You'll still get the card draw on the Toski, which is a bit annoying, but we gain some life there, which is really nice. Oh, wow. I wish I had one more land. That's a big wolf. I think that's firmly outside of our friend's Blizzard Brawl range. We can block a Toski with a Swarm Shambler. And we can block the pack leader with the little dude. No card draw. Sorry. Well, I mean, he did get one of the pack leader, unfortunately. Okay, he's gonna make that right now. Oh my goodness. Every time, man. Like, 3 of them in the top 10 cards of his library. I mean, it's just... Oh. And now we get... a little late. Mr. Veil. Okay. Really? Sure. Ah! This guy's top decks are just really, really good. I don't know how we're gonna get around that. Got him. Mission accomplished. That was the plan. Baited him into it. Got rid of the Ren and the token in one fell swoop. Now we just gotta outpace his troll. Ooh, Valorous stance, baby. Will he double block? Of course. Hey, well, it's just a little insect. 7/7 insect. Coming through. Okay, he could activate the Faceless Haven. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Okay. Fine, draw a card. See if I care. I'm gonna be gaining some life next turn. Boom. Whew. That's juicy. Ha-ha. Oh, so primal. Unfortunately, pretty sweet. I haven't seen that done yet. Nice little interaction there with the Sculptor Winter, being able to untap the Snowlands from the primal adversary. Very nice. Very, very nice. But I'm afraid, my dear fellow, I think I just win, no? Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. Misa likey. That Sigardian Paladin is pretty sweet. I like that it's uncommon. So free to play, guys. Enjoy. This is a very budget deck. Very budget friendly. We could definitely make a free-to-play version of this. For y'alls. Ooh. Nah, I never liked this type of thing. Exile the top card of your library. Nah. Okay, so ranked it is. A little slow. But we're on the draw. Let's see what happens. Concealing curtains. Rakdos. Well, let's see what he takes. That's cool. We get to draw a card. At least that. Ladies and gentlemen, the MTG Shuffler. Nice. I think we'll go for the find creature and have life gain. Now we can block the Shambling Ghast if we want. We'll probably deadly dispute it. Actually, no, let's not risk anything. We can afford to take a bit more damage. Yep, that's what I thought. We could even destroy treasure and desperation to gain a bit of life. Oh, I got the wrong card. Whoops. That was a misplay. Okay, as long as we don't have too much removal. Oh, mate, that's painful. More removal? Come on, man. Come on. Give me some love, please. We do have one more, but I just want to start going off next turn. Like, that's 5 life gained already next turn. These two together is great, obviously. Acquisitions, huh? Sure. Torens is a great top deck. Gain us a little bit of life. Gain us a little bit more life. Oh, that is just so sweet together. Back up to 19. No worries. Sure. You take my other paladin. You sneaky, sneaky person. I think the plan next turn is to train Torens and put the Sparring regiment. Ah, oh, never mind. Forget I said anything. Ooh, oh, that's nice. Gains lifelink and trample becomes 8-6. Opponent is down to 1. We are on 41. Good games. In your face. Okay, I mean, we're climbing rank here, guys. With my janky brew. Let's keep this ball going. We've hit the 38-minute mark. Couple games in me. I do still have to sneak in those couple of games with the Abzan Path list version 2. I really want to show you guys that one. It's super sweet. That one is definitely ranked ladder ready. It's good. It's really good against aggro, and is okay against Izzet and the mono black control guys. I can handle. Very nice. Little curve there going on. Opponent's also playing Selesnya. That'll be funny. Probably the life gain variant though. That would... Okay. Deceptive lands. See, this is my usual pattern. So now the Luminarch Aspirant is protected. He's running, you know, the type of lands that means... Alright. Free wins are good. Free wins I take. I love me some free wins. Alright, so probably like one more with this one, and then we can jump into some Abzan action. Abzan action. I don't remember ever seeing this card, like, ever. That's crazy. It's in Strixhaven. Fungus Beast. I mean, yeah, because it's pretty funky card. Surprised I never saw this. I like my tribal stuff, and we've got the Fungus Beast right now. We're busy playing a Fungus Beast in this deck. Cool card. For once, it's not something that I already have. Or, you know, that I've already seen. WSB. That's a mulligan for sure. A little bit better. We need to get a green source. But if we do, then it's really good. Please no blue. Oh. Okay, here we go. Probably should have prayed out the Stronghold first, but this matchup is probably terrible. Bounce spells and things. Okay. Tapland. Nice. No green source, huh? He's wondering if I've got a fight trick. Well guessed. A lucky guess. Now I'll come to dividing by zeroings. Almost certainly. Okay, now. Full dragon style. There's a new little 2-drop dragon in the spoiler talk video from later tonight that you guys should check out. It's gonna be groovy. Could have a fading hope now off of the treasure and it wouldn't even, you know, destroy it. Pardon me. Okay. Takes it. We can use fight spell next turn. It'd be nice to get a second green source. But you know, we do have many of them. Okay, it's dragon time. Full power. That's now 4 mana, potentially. Hello, Vincent. What's going on, my boy? Magic with Papa. Off you go. Trying to gain a bit of life here. Keep myself in the game. Okay. Cheeky, cheeky, cheeky. We're taking 11 in the air, and as long as he has one more spell, that's gonna seal the deal, because he can just go face with the Ash Mouth. Okay. Good game. Goldspanned Dragon, everybody. 2 of the best cards in the format right here. Very, very nice. Oh well, that was a very nice little run with Selesnya, a little janky brew there. I'm quite happy with that. And now to show you the Abzan Path version 2. This is a spicy meatball, guys. You should check this brew out. I think it's well positioned right now in the meta to kind of be okay against the aggro decks, like with all the removal and sweepers, and then have enough of a late game plan to occasionally beat the Alrund's Epiphany dudes. So if you can remember that far back, if not, I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can go check out the version 1. I was doing the pest thing very heavily. I took out all the pests and went more removal and just put in a couple of good cards. You know, Starnheim Unleashed, Blot Out the Sky, 2 of our token producers / finishers. We've got a copy of Shadow's Verdict, which we can tutor up with Dig Up against mono white, which is great. And then, of course, plenty of sweepers, Path of Peril, as well as Meathook Massacre. We're splashing the white in here so that we can play Vanishing Verse, which is and Blot Out the Sky, and Starnheim Unleashed, and Fracture. And those are also going to help us deal with the Troll in mono green. Then the life gain that we can gain off of Cram Session when you also have Professor Onyx in play is bonkers. You gain 4 + 2 is 6 life off of a 2-mana spell that also gets you another card. And that's just pretty ridiculous. Then the rest is just good removal. And we've got a Callous Blood Mage in here just to be able to exile opponents' graveyards in this format, which is really, really good against the Lair decks, of course. But also we can draw a card just by losing 1 life, which isn't too bad, and also make a little chump blocky pest if necessary. Then we've got some more removal. You know, late game, if you start opening hand with Starnheim Unleashed, just foretell it, keep it there, wait until you have like X is 3 or X is 4, and then you just make like 4 angels with vigilance, and that usually wins the game. But the other win con is, of course, Professor Onyx's -8, or just pinging the opponent down with Professor Onyx's Magecraft ability. We've got lots of instants and sorceries. We're trying to either do that as 1 win con, or kill with angels, or kill with inklings, or, you know, make a bunch of inklings, then Meathook Massacre our own inklings after we've attacked with them. So, you know, even if you make like 5 inklings, the following turn you attack with them, that's 10 damage, and then you play a Meathook Massacre and you kill all your inklings. You've got 5 inklings, that's another 5 damage. That's 15 damage those 2 turns. As long as you've gotten the opponent down a little bit before then, that's pretty game-ending stuff. And then 1 sneaky copy of Harness Infinity, which I love to run whenever I have the colors to do so, just to be able to get back our entire graveyard in as our hand during the opponent's end step, and then you untap with all your mana available, and your entire graveyard you can recast is just really, really good. So 1 copy of Harness Infinity, and then the mana base gets pretty trippy because of this 3-color deck. We've got 1 Cave, 1 Hive, 1 Lair, some basics, at least 1 of each basic, so that we can fetch it with Field of Ruin, as well as Binding of the Old Gods. So I snuck in 1 Arctic Tree Line, as a forest that we can go grab with Binding of the Old Gods. One World Tree to smooth out all the mana problems if necessary. A couple of Field of Ruins. And then, you know, the new Chill lands. 3 of each. Pretty good. Pretty nice little land base there. And then we've got Lesson Board, thanks to the Cram session. So 1 Environmental Sciences, 1 Necrotic Fumes, 1 Pest Summoning, 1 Introduction to Annihilation, 1 Mascot Exhibition, and 2 Confront the Past to make sure that we always get our Professor Onyx back. That's the deck. Just a quick little introduction. I don't want the video to go on too long, but this is a sweet one, and I will leave it as a fan, you know, in the video description for you guys to copy, and I will make an Ether Hub link for this deck as well for you guys to go copy and enjoy. And please report back. I always love your comments. Like, if you do end up using any of my brews, how did it, you know, perform for you? Did you make some adjustments? Did the adjustments help? That sort of stuff. I thrive. And it, of course, also really helps with the algorithm. Oh, Talia. Super weenies. We need a sweeper. We should be, you know, fine. Can't even do X's 1. Well, we just continue to take some damage. No, I'm gonna go grab a... This is a way of finding the sweeper, if we don't find it off the top of the library, but it's also a way of finding a second black source so we can maybe cast Professor Onyx a little sooner. I don't know. I think I'm gonna wait. Just take a little bit more damage. Ooh. Oh, that is a big problem. We're just dead. We're just dead on board, baby. This card is so good. Right back into Historic. It's being played in the Selesnya Humans list. That saw so much play at the Kaldheim Champs. Come on, Sweeper. Meathook Massacre. Off the top. No, we don't have the mana for Meathook Massacre. That's a problem. There we go. I would have been able to kill them all with Path of Peril, but we don't have the mana, so I am screwed. Alright, next, really bad luck. Like, this mono white is like what we're preying upon. That, just our lands, still a little bit clunky, these 3-color decks without the triomes and things. But usually I smooth things out with environmental sciences. We just didn't get a very nice hand there. All right, last match. Come on, buddy. Let's win it. For the content, for the viewers, for my pride, for the Path version 2. Okay. World Tree, Swamp, Cram. Blah, blah, blah. Some removal, one sweeper. I like it. Third land. Oof. And it's gonna be a Doomscar for shiz. Oh, shizzo. Azorius control. Ay caramba. Yeah, there's gonna be a what's his name? Teferi. Wow. Oh my gosh. Doomscar? That's what I thought. Here comes the fairy. I am a prophet.
Needs our help.
How many does this thing need? 10.
I've got some time tinkering to do.
Witherbloom is just as dark and musty as I remember. Ugh! There has to be an answer here.
Alright, good game. Don't give me that shit. Has he got... Oh, he's got Alrund's Epiphany.
Don't worry.
Way to ruin a perfectly good Magic game with your stupid card. Yeah, good game. Alright, well, we do have time for one more. There's no way I'm giving up on that. That final victory. But yeah, the Selesnya deck, actually pretty good. In the format and in general, like you can just the ability to survive sweepers with all that indestructibility is great against a lot of the decks that would be a problem against it normally. And I think in the aggro mirror, if you ran that Wrath that was spoiled yesterday from the new set, from the Alchemy set, you could give something indestructible and then Wrath your own board and the opponent's, obviously, and then for the rest of the game, the creatures in your hand gain +1/+1 perpetually or whatever, one of the new digital only mechanics. That could be pretty sweet in a Selesnya build like that, which is really kind of, after Abzan, my second favorite color combo. Sorry, after Orzhov, I was meant to say. No, don't have the mana to pay for the ward. I should have played this land and foretold Starnheim Unleashed. That was a misplay. Going a lot better against our mono white opponent here. We've got plenty of ways of dealing with everything. This is how it usually goes. I'm hoping, you know, finally our luck has changed a bit. Can quite happily sweep these boys up. Or should we ramp? Yeah, let's ramp. So I can fetch that Arctic Snowland thing. That gives me the white to cast Starnheim Unleashed. Now I'll just kill Adeline with my Blood Chief's Thirst. He's probably going to activate his Faceless Haven. Can do X's 2. Rather wait for 1 more mana. We could do destroy all creatures. Mana value. Yeah, I think that's the go. Let's draw a card off of this. No, let's make a pest so I gain a bit of life. We do need it. And we chump block the Faceless Haven with the Callous Blood Mage. Unless he's got Faithful Absence. Okay, then we go down to 2. It's getting close. But I got some. If we just get 1 more land, we can make 3 angels. 1 more land, 1 more land, 1 more land. Come on, baby, 1 more land. That's a pity. Perfect. We're going to save this mana to draw a card on the opponent's end step. Whew. Okay. Down to 2. But we do have a Meathook Massacre in play. You can do a double Haven activation, I believe, here. But we can just double chump block without caring too much. Nice. That's 2 less Faceless Havens in my life. Thank you. So let's do 5. So it doesn't destroy our... Anyway, that's all we had the mana for. Oof. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Off you go, buddy. Off you go. Gotcha. All right, there we go. Got my final win. Thanks for sticking, sticking with me to the end, guys. Those of you who make it this far, you know what I always love to say. You are my favorite people in the whole wide world. But that's going to be it for this video. I will be seeing you all a little bit later for some spoiler talk, so don't forget to tune in for that, as well as tomorrow with some fresh brews. But yeah, before we wrap up completely, let me just jump back into the Selesnya deck and see if I have any final thoughts to add. I really like it. It's super duper funky. It's not your like typical life gain one. It's not your typical counters one. I wish I could, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Like what could I trim? What could I adjust numbers of so that we could maybe get this win con in the Sigarda summons to happen more consistently? But otherwise, you guys saw in a couple of those games where we had the Sigardian Paladin with Sparring regimen. These two together is just crazy good. It puts such a clock on the game, and you're just gaining life. And as long as, the response usually is the opponent's going to see this thing and remove it. So maybe play it on turn 5 when you have a Veil open. Or, if you can put a counter on it with Luminarch Aspirant straight away and you've got an Olobok Escort in play, as long as you can protect them, your important creatures, then they just get out of hand really quickly. So yeah, nothing else I would love to add or adjust for now, other than I'd love to hear your thoughts on how we could fit in an extra Sigarda summons. Alright, see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.